First thing I'd like to shout at you about is listening, which as a spoken word performer, I'm sure these guys will tell you is one of the most valuable currencies in our world. We don't have a lot. So I wrote kind of, yeah. This is called Watch Your Ears. See, apartheid. That's a Dutch word for an English creation, inflicted on Africans for generations. It roughly translates to separation of the states, and not all people are created equal, not all of our lives are worth the same. And it was repeated again and again until it became a grin on the brain like a dirty stain, but my father didn't listen. He didn't accept that status. So age 19, he turned his back on that most racist of places, flew half around the world and fell in love with someone of a different colour, my sister's mother. And a few years later, he met my mum. While I stood in their belly by the time I'm done, people started saying to her, you've already got one son, no money, and a man to support you, you're going to have a second one, do you really think you ought to? But my mother didn't listen. She went ahead and raised us both on her own. And all the love, strength and wisdom she gave us, there was nothing broken about our home. Impressed upon us that one parent was fine, as we had a father who was with us all the time. And I listened to that, and still listen today. But when she took me to church to hear the preacher say, unless you find this God in this way described in this book, your soul will be lost, it'll never get lifted. That's when my interest trailed off and my young mind drifted. Started to search. Ask questions like, what about people who don't live near a church? What are those in other parts of the world with other saviours and other flavours than the one you're talking about? And ask guys down and join the after party in the sky, they couldn't miss out. And I don't mean to cast doubt on that book that's so cherished. I sure hope my soul doesn't perish, but if all this stuff happened 2,000 years past, can I really be asked to go trusting King James to be indulging in games of Chinese whispering? And that's about the point that I stopped listening. And to think, kids on my council estate told me I was half caste. It wasn't until I got to school I realised I was just half-assed. For the first few years I put up, and then my attention span must have been selective, but about halfway through my listening got selective. I still tuned in English, PSE, art, drama and RE, and to any teacher encouraged debate and discussion, but to the rest I listened like a man with concussion. I was more concerned with messing around, earning the crown of class clown. I left most of my teachers wearing a frown. My poor mum frustrated. She said, you were blessed with a brain, it's one for you to waste it, and I agreed with her. But I also felt sure that intelligence was more than league tables and test scores. It made me feel raw the way the system implied if you can't make it in here, you can't make it outside. And I saw kids lose their pride and their self-esteem before they even turned 16 because the national curriculum told them they couldn't jump through the hoops that were sold them not to waste their time with dreams. But it wasn't until my exams got close that my ears really started to get closed. If you can't remember how it works, please let me explain. Take a look at all this information, so much from entertainment, so go spit it out again. Like that old party game with 10 items on a tray that someone takes away and see what you have to see how many you can list. Even when I had a short-term memory, using it for this just left me so uninspired. So I never did just as much as was required, and a lot of the time not even. I think the problem was none of the prizes offered anything I could believe in. Do well today and you'll get a piece of paper. In 2 years later you can get another nicer piece of paper. And if you stick around for 4 years more, you can get a really nice piece of paper that'll open up every door, and a shit ton of debt, and a bright future will be yours, and like, that path might work for some people, sure, but when I tried to follow it, I just felt like something was missing, and maybe it was because it wasn't right for me, maybe it was just because I didn't really listen. And I didn't listen either when they told me, don't smoke reefer. And then someone said, you can't make a living from poems. I know it's a long shot, so was Jesse Owens. I don't listen to that advertising, constantly invading our consciousness with cheap tricks and want to promise that you can be expressed, but the things that you possess and whatever you got is not quite enough because life would be so much happier if you just had more stuff. And countless millions are spent trying to ensure we never feel content. You don't look thin enough, you don't look young enough, you don't work hard enough, you don't have fun enough. Following us around like an evil conscience, mumbling in my ears, playing on our fears, but I got no time for this paranoid whispering. What's that? Did you say something? I'm sorry, I wasn't listening. But I did listen to Gil Scott-Heron and Curtis Mayfield, and they showed that struggle can be poetic, beautiful and aesthetic, and the lengths to which the soul can survive. I listened to people like Talib Kweli, Kenya and Kate Tempest to keep that message alive. I listened to reggae and its wrath to inspire philosophy that told the people, ground down by poverty, there's other ways to enrich yourselves and economically. And no longer do you need to accept someone else's version of the truth, because now you've got your own. And when I was a kid, they told me, listen to your elders, and I understood that, but not till I was grown. But I try to listen to what those who love and care have to share with me, and if you do not agree with, it's always respected. I try to stay reflective, listen to myself because that's a voice that's commonly neglected, and because I know a closed mind can't grow, can only strangle. I try to listen to people who see life from different angles. And it's such a noisy world, all kinds of chaos constantly happening. If silence is golden, the listening must be platinum, so keep your ear to the ground, but be aware not everything we hear is sound. It's a pity, a lot of what we listen to just isn't pretty. The truth's been recorded over so many times, the sound quality is shitty. It's like trying to look at the stars at night when we live in the middle of a city. And when life is this loud, it can be deafening. We can't listen to everything, we have to pick and choose, figure out what you can use and what you can lose, which advice to adhere to and which to ignore. And I've only got one piece more to extend to you. Treat your ears like your heart, and be careful who you lend them to. Yeah.